The world can be such a dark, dismal, depressing place at times. You've got poverty, famine, warmongering, sexual inequality, people being shot for giving their opinions. It's a depressing place to be. The internet is a depressing place to be. And sometimes people like to use YouTube videos made by, I hate to say it, content creators like myself. We are making video content. People like to use them sometimes as an escape, as a form of just watching something and just getting locked into it and forgetting the world. And if it's something positive and something uplifting, a form of escapism can do wonders for mental health. It's such a serious subject. And I take my role in it on YouTube as seriously as any YouTuber, even the big ones with like hundreds of thousands or millions of subscribers. It's a serious business. We are here to entertain. So here is a wet, grey Vauxhall Zafira 1.6 club on a dyno. The first question on your lips, apart from why the hell has YouTube recommended this shite to me, is why has someone put a Vauxhall Zafira 1.6 club on a rolling road? Two reasons. Firstly, I have a rolling road. And secondly, I have a Vauxhall Zafira 1.6 club. No, seriously, this car is a car that I am doing as current, well, I'm not even doing a series. It's going to be a single video of flipping a car. It's a car that was very generously part exchanged for free by a man called Ben, who bought my Peugeot 106 off me. And to that end, I am trying to flip this car. I don't mean physically. I'm not node grabbing it, BeamNG or something like that. I'm going to try and sell it. I'm making it nicer, making it cleaner, tidying up some little rough edges, and then I'm going to sell it on, try and make some money off it, and then invest that into another car, and then try and sell that one or raffle it. But that might be something a little bit more interesting, hopefully. That's the plan. So the main goal with the Zafira, actually, to put on the dyno, is to prove its health. Because the best way of proving how healthy an engine is strapping it to a dyno, as far as I'm concerned. If there's any problems with it, we'll know. And you can't say, well, if it doesn't perform on the road, you'll notice. They don't perform on the road anyway. You wouldn't know. The computer can tell me, it can say, yes, you are only producing 85 horsepower. This is a dud. Good luck selling that one, chum. Or it might say, you've got 103 horsepower, which is what this should have, at about 6,000 revs, and I can't remember how much torque because I got bored reading up about it, but it's about 110 pound-foot or something like that. This is an car. It's just a mode of transport. This is like a bicycle with an engine and four wheels. There is nothing redeeming about it, except, actually, no, that's a lie. The rear seating arrangement, I like the man or woman or team member, whatever, the human who designed that, because they've done a nice job. I like that third row of seats. I think that's very clever. But we should put a bit of respect on this car's name, actually, because it's quite a small car on the outside, but there's a lot of room inside it. It's quite a practical car. I'm even going against my previous lambasting of this car on our Overboard podcast, where I said it's stupid for not having 3 individual seats in the back. Now I know why it doesn't have 3 individual seats in the back. It's because of that third row of seats. It's part of the integrated design, so that's all good. Other than that, yeah, I can't pretend in good conscience for 1 minute that I like this car, because it's just there. It's just like that bit of dirt on the floor, or my SM, which is just there. So yeah, there's a fear. What should it do then? Let's get this over and done with and get us all out of our misery so we can go home back to our miserable little lives. So basically, it's a 1.6 petrol. In fact, I'll show you the engine. Let's get the exciting bit out of the way. Shut up! Stupid thing. I hate cars that bong at you. It really does my head in. Wow. It's quite something. You know, you need to see this. I mean, it's up there with like Concorde, TGV. That is an engine. Now, this is a Vauxhall. I don't know what the code is. I'm putting it on the screen now. These are the book figures. This is exactly what the thing should make from new. But you know, I'm slagging it off, right? what was Ford's version of this, the Zetec S, the 1.6 version of the Zetec S? That I have Fiesta Zetec S, a Mark V Fiesta Zetec S, which I really like, and I would like to put one on the dyno if anyone has a nice one. Yeah, that engine in the Zetec S, 103 horsepower, exactly the same. But are we slagging off the Zetec S engine? No, everyone thinks they're great. Well, this is doing the same thing. I imagine you can get a Corsa with that in it. I don't know. I don't really look at Corsas. They're kind of boring as well. But it's sound. It's sound, it's safe, it's sensible. It does the job. It's not a car for petrol heads. It's just a car for people who want to get about. Petrol heads will be too busy breaking down on the side of the road and something fun. This just does the job. Anyway, there's the car. It's one of them. So basically all we're doing now is putting this on the dyno to give it a health check. It's part of the health check that I'm doing. I'm just going to run it up and make sure it's not all over the place and squirrely and losing loads of power and likely to cause someone a headache in the future. Because when I sell a car, I like it to be gone. I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to hear of any problems. It's probably a car I didn't really want to sell in some cases, or in other cases it's a car I did want to sell, but I still don't want to hear about it. So, unless I've asked you, unless I've said I want to hear about it. So yeah, basically this is a health check. So yeah, normally I do these videos and I mix it about and I change the microphones and things to try and get the sound, although it's very hard to get it over the sound of the dyno. I'm not going to bother. Well, I'll show you for why. I'm not going to bother. Oh no, I've thrown the keys. Where did I put those? Have I left the lights on? No, so why is the dash lit up? So it's... Well, it revs to 6,600 and it just makes a noise. It's like Coldplay in a car. Right, let's just do it. Let's just get it over and done with. Here we go. Whoa! Oh, wow! Ooh! Hang on. I realise I've forgotten my mic. Do you know, rolling road in cars is just such... You can't predict anything. And then the BMW Z4 that's supposed to be 170 did 175. And then the Wartburg that was supposed to be 56 or something did 68. And then the TVR that's supposed to be 340 did 290 something. Okay, so she's up. I mean, it's done 100,000 miles. It's a relatively modern, relatively simple engine. It's just run in, I think. It's just freed up a bit. 109 at 6,000 and 118 pound-foot. Well, if it was on its board, where would it go? It would go between the Citroen BX and a Hillman Imp with the Citroen Saxo engine in it. Those two are 1.6s. They've made that look a bit silly, even though it's done really well, but there's a slightly spicier 1.6s. But that's also a 1.6, though it is from 1983. And that was a 1.6. And it's a lot better than that. Then that's quite an old engine as well. That's a 2 litre. That's a 2.5. Anyway, so... Well, I'm delighted. It's very healthy. It's boring as sin, but it's very healthy. Right, so I've moved into the cabin. Let's make it nice and quiet in here. Oh, I was losing power. Look, I had the fan on. Well, it's not flickering like that at all. Oh no, actually that one is flickering. The seatbelt one. Right, and it's going to start bonging at me, but we'll just have to deal with that. So yeah, I'm only going to do one more run. I'm not going to do one from behind because there's no exhaust note to listen to, but... Let's see if it can get into the 110s. Do you know, it's perfectly fine, this. Mechanically, it's tickety-boo. That was my awful gear change, to be fair. There we go, we're flat out. Away she goes. Go on, baby, 110. I'll put it in the advert. I won't. And no, another car with a soft limiter. Very strange. The BMW Z4 had a soft limiter as well. It wasn't going... Well, there's just waiting to do now, so I'll just wait. You can go. Oh my god. Right, well, it hasn't got any better here, but it's already doing very, very well. That's an amazing power curve. This is a non-VVT engine, so the torque is a little peakier. We don't have it, it's not broad. If it was variable valve timing, you'd find that it was kind of a bit broader across there. But that's so good. I mean, not for power, but for racing, you kind of want it to carry on up here. You want to be like the trajectory that was on. You'd be like, continue. But for the shopping car that this is, I've left something on and it's bonging at me. I will burn you. I don't care. That is a result. Whoever buys this, they're in for a treat. Yeah, I've got to be honest, that's really good. Vauxhalls, typically, they're a bit of a conundrum for me, actually, on the dyno, because the ones I've had on here, I haven't got many on the list on the website, admittedly, because they were all quite a long time ago, but the ones I've had on here tend to... The newer ones, not so far off. The older ones don't seem to make the power that they were quoted. However, they all feel perky. They all feel pokey on the road. They've got this... Vauxhall engines always had this real kind of nice mid-range spread of torque, you know. You can't knock that. That's absolutely fine. I'm delighted. I'm still selling it, but I'm delighted. So that will make someone a nice car. So when you see this video, that car's already gone. All these videos are coming out after the car is sold. Round of applause, please. Don't fall asleep when you're doing it.